Not really. Anyway, we had all these hit records, and we won 3 Grammys, Album of the Year over Abbey Road, if you can figure out who I am. You know, we had all these accolades. Louis Armstrong gave us the Album of the Year award. We sold millions of records worldwide. So we were booked all the time. Now it's 1969, October, New York. And we're just like booked, solid. And it was an incredible time in New York because the Mets were in the World Series with Baltimore. They were in the series for the first time. And at the same time, there was a moratorium march being organized around the country, mainly in New York and I think DC. And I even helped in organizing it. I was like very, very left-wing. I became very much against the war and against the Nixon administration. And I became very active politically. My heart just went to the movement, the anti-war movement. And we had a band meeting, and I said to the band, listen, I know we have a gig on the day that that the march is happening, and I'm not going to be at the gig. You can get a sub, you can fire me, you can cancel a gig, whatever you do. I love the band, I love doing this with you guys, I love all of you, but marching against this war means more to me than anything. So they canceled the gig. The night before the march, I got a call from a friend of mine. I got an extra ticket to the game tomorrow. You can't blame you. He went into extra innings. Mets won it, I think, in the 11th inning. Swoboda made that fabulous catch. No, I'm still embarrassed about it. Okay. So then when I left Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I wound up producing Lou, which is really some great stories in the book about, if you're interested in the degenerate side of rock and roll. And
who is it?
Pardon me?
I said, and who isn't?
Of course, yeah. Thank you. You tell everybody they should buy the book.
Right.
Anyway, so I was doing a lot of production, and RCA was Records were putting together a band. They wanted to put together like a group with Craig Fuller from Pure Prairie League, hey Amy, what you going? And Doug Ewell from the Velvet Underground, and they asked if I would be interested in producing. I said, actually, I would rather be in the group. And so that's what we did, and we added Eric Kaz, who was an old friend of mine, who wrote Love Has No Pride for Linda Ronstadt, and I'm Blown Away, and a whole bunch of things for Bonnie Raitt. And so it was the 4 of us. There was a record company bidding war for us, and Little United Artists Records, who couldn't match the funds of CBS or RCA. A friend of mine ran it named Al Teller, and Al said to me, what can I do to, I can't afford you guys, in this bidding war. What can I do to sweeten the whole thing? And I said, you can get George Martin to produce us. George Martin, the Beatles producer. And he did. And so we went with United Artists, and the first American Flyer album was produced by George Martin. So of all the interesting things that I've done in my career, I think one of the greatest blessings that I've had was to work with George Martin, who was just one of the most amazing people and one of the most talented people. And when you work with George, you realize how much he actually contributed to all those Beatles records. Background vocals, the orchestration, his piano playing even. And he's one of the most wonderful people that I've ever worked with. I used to follow him around the studio and say, George, how'd you do this with the Beatles? How'd you do that with the Beatles? And he'd say, you can't get off my back, will you? So we took one of my songs, one of my old songs that we actually did with blood, sweat, and tears years before, but it came out like a funeral dirge. It was just awful, so we never put it out. And George said, I like this song, and I think we're going to make it a little bit faster and beatle it up a little bit, basically, with some background vocals like that.